We're going to use the quadratic formula to solve this guy. Again, this is my equal sign, so here's one side, here's the other. I want one side to equal 0. I want to make sure that other expression, the quadratic expression, is in standard form. And I want to keep that squared term positive. So the best move is to subtract 17x from this side and from this side. That'll make this side equal 0. And when I write this in standard form, there's like a negative 17x here and a negative 17x here, I'll have 3x squared minus 17x plus 10. That means my a value is 3, my b value is negative 17, and my c value is positive 10. Where do I go next? Figure out the discriminant. Determine the value of b squared minus 4ac and square that b value in your head. Or just know that it will be positive. So if you square negative 17, that's 289 minus 4 times a times c. If you pop all that into a calculator, what should pop out is 169. Now I'll say, quick aside, 169, that's a perfect square. That's 13 squared. And one of the things you might have noticed from the quiz the other day was every time we had a factorable quadratic, the discriminant was a perfect square. So to be honest, I can solve this equation with factoring if I want to. And in fact, I probably would, because it's faster. But because you don't always see that, I'm going to go ahead and use the quadratic formula anyways. But anytime you do this b squared minus 4ac thing, and if you notice that the number over here is a perfect square, like if it's a 4 or a 49 or a 25, stop what you're doing and try to factor the quadratic instead of using the quadratic formula. It should be faster, especially as you get better at it. So, but we're not going to do that here. I'm going to demonstrate the quadratic formula. So what happens is I've got to now do the opposite of b. So the opposite of b is 17. Plus or minus the square root of this number I found, all over 2a. Now a is equal to 3, so 2a is going to equal 6. I'm going to do that 2a calculation in my head and write down the answer. I'm not going to like plug it in on paper. It's silly. So the next thing I would normally try to do is simplify this radical. It's a pretty big one, but if you put that into a calculator, it happens to be exactly 13. So this becomes 17 plus or minus 13 all over 6. Which means we have as our answers 17 plus 13 over 6 and 17 minus 13 over 6. If you put this in a calculator, a 5 is going to come out. If you put this in a calculator, it's going to be a 0.666666 blah 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 7. I don't want a decimal answer. Give me a fraction. So if you don't know how, on your calculator there's a math button. It's right by the green cursor key. Press math. Press enter twice, it'll turn this into a fraction. It'll say something on your screen like 0.66667 with this little arrow. It'll say the word frac. So if you press that, you'll see that it's 2/3. And these would be, not only are they the exact answers, but they're also like the, just put those answers. Don't worry about the decimals there, okay? Good luck.